Right, well, let's start with England then. So England with a 2-0 win over Sweden to see their way through into a semi-final against Croatia. We're going to preview, obviously, the big match on Wednesday night. The biggest match of our lives, quite honestly, as sports fans, coming up later this week. But first, let's review what we've just seen on Saturday, as much as we can remember about it anyway. Tom, we know that you're now barred from a country pub in the southwest. Dan, you've...
I was at a
barely
barbecue,
recovered. Yeah.
But I won't be invited back.
Yeah. And I'm now wanted by Clapham police, so let's avoid that part of London. England-Sweden, it was surprisingly comfortable, Tom. What do you think? What's your impressions?
It's quite hazy, to tell the truth. I was wearing sunglasses and also having to shield out the sun to watch the game, but we never looked in danger. I know Pickford pulled off about 3 or 4 blinding saves, but I think there's a bit of humble pie for Dan. When I was talking about the other day about Rashford basically stretching their defence, not Rashford, Sterling stretching their defence and basically keeping them occupied and that sort of thing. I just don't think their defence could handle it. And as much as an organised team they are, they just really lack that one special bit of talent to really unlock it, because Maguire has been dominating in the air the whole tournament. Stones looks assured and Walker has the pace to get Bayless out if they're getting behind, but I just don't think the Swedes had enough creativity to finish us.
You definitely got the feel. We'll talk about Sterling specifically in a minute, but you definitely got the feeling the Swedes have hit their ceiling now. I think when they came into that game, it was like they just really didn't have anything very much to offer, did they? England looked the most comfortable I've seen them in an important game ever.
Yeah, I mean, literally sitting there watching it yesterday, I was overcome with just how at ease everyone was in a room. There was you compare it to the tension that we had against Colombia, and then obviously especially in that sort of the first half of extra time where we were all just so downtrodden, and there was just none of that. It was like a comfortable. The opening sort of took maybe 10-15 minutes to get going, and then after that you were like, right, they're at arm's length for the whole thing, apart from 1 or 2 good saves, one really good one from Pickford, but other than that I thought the rest were quite routine. It
was what was weird about it, and good weird from an England perspective, was that once we were 1-0 up, and you stay 1-0 up a significant way into the second half. I can't remember how many minutes it was when we got the second, but it was 1-0 for a while. And what England have a tendency to do historically is to panic, right, and then to go play too deep, lose all their composure on the ball. And it just didn't happen. It was just one of the most sort of professional performances. They kept pushing for the second goal. Eventually got their reward. Everyone looked like, if you had to rate the England team out of 10, you'd give everyone 7, 8 or higher. I mean, there was no one on the pitch who didn't do a job for England.
I thought Kyle Walker had a bit of a hiccup early on, as he did against Colombia as well.
As he is prone to do.
And he is prone to at least one a game, and so I would say probably on the day he was our least effective player. Not to say he had a bad game, but he was probably the least effective. But then everyone else was,
I mean, the other two in that back three, and I've already apologised to Harry Maguire, so I won't do it again. But actually, I've got a stat on Harry Maguire. 33. Harry Maguire's, and this is from Opta Joe on Twitter, Harry Maguire's won more aerial duels than any other defender at the World Cup with 33 this year. So he is just, something else at the back, isn't he? Quite aside from the header he scored, which was pretty remarkable as well. But John Stones is doing a real job for England as well. The way he's distributing the ball out between him and Pickford, the way that ball is getting out to the midfield and to the forwards is one of the main reasons we're doing so well.
I think Maguire's part of that as well. So he's winning every header, but he's probably more than Stones. You would expect it more of Stones, but Maguire's actually the one that's really bringing the ball out over the halfway line and playing it off to the midfield. Now that's possibly because it's supposed to be John Stones. The opposition attackers are taking care of him because you actually defend from the front these days. So maybe they're looking after John Stones, leaving Maguire to do it because realistically he looks like a farmhand rather than a ball-playing centre-back. Yeah. So maybe they're just like, there's no way this guy's going to bring it out. And then he does, and suddenly we're on the attack.
It does, Jurgen Klinsmann was saying after the game that to win a World Cup you need a goalkeeper who's on scintillating form, which obviously Pickford is. Then you need that kind of spine of the team, right? So you've got you can call it Stones or Maguire as the key man at the back, arguably both of them. You've got Jordan Henderson, another stat here. Jordan Henderson never been on the losing side in any of his last 30 England matches. Wow. Jordan Henderson. We don't lose when Henderson plays, and then obviously Harry Kane, at the top end of the field. That's the kind of spine of the team. And you look at all the good England teams of the past. They've all got a spine like that. You can name a key guy in each sort of sector of the field, and England have that now.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think you can actually add Sterling to that as well, because Kane is arguably playing number 10 rather than number 9.
Well, we're going to talk a bit more about Raheem Sterling in just a minute, but let us know what you think about why England found it so comfortable on Saturday in that quarter-final against Sweden. Was it because this England team is just brimming with confidence? Was it because it was a poor quality opposition in Sweden? Some combination of the two. Let us know what you think in the comments.